So here we are then at Hatton's Model Railways, and when people come here to visit Hatton's, this is pretty much what they see. It's a fairly conventional looking model shop with quite a nice range of different products and items out there on display, including some of Hatton's very own exclusive items, which we're going to get onto later on. But really, is Hatton's just a model shop or a box shifter? What exactly is Hatton's?
We're not just a company that sells model trains. We've been in business over 70 years, and in 1999 we became the first model railway retailer to go onto the internet. As well as selling model railways, if you call the House Centre, we can offer advice, help solve problems. Even if you've not bought anything from us, we can sort you out that way. And also, we've in the past few years started manufacturing our own model railway items through various other manufacturers, and then over the last year or so we started using our own manufacturing facility over in China. Okay, so an order comes in, be it on the phone or on the emails or however, it will get automatically sent downstairs to the guys on the picking. They've all got handheld devices which the order comes through on. They'll find the items on the shelf, pick them, take them to a person who then checks the order, and then once they've been checked, they go to a packer, get put into the box, wrapped very securely, and then straight out the door. So it's a very, very quick system.
So I had a lot of fun taking a look at how all the pre-owned stuff gets processed. First of all, obviously it all gets tested and serviced if necessary, has the necessary work done, and then every single item is photographed individually. There's no sort of stock photograph library. Every single item is photographed multiple times for the online listings, of course, and then they go to be stored in the warehouse, seemingly at random really, although the computer system keeps track of every single item, and it can send out instructions to the pickers who will be able to find exactly where that item is very easily. And the pickers there work at amazing speeds. It's mind-blowing, not just how quickly they work, but the sheer volume of orders that they have to deal with in a very short period of time. And these days, most of the DCC fitting takes place in the store where the public can see it. So if you're interested in watching, you might even pick up some hints and tips along the way. So now we're going to head back to Dave so that we can learn all about the brand new range of Hatton's locomotives which are soon to be released.
Well, these are our first locomotives that we've produced ourselves through our own factory. So we've done the Warwell wagon ourselves. That was the first thing we've done anything through our own factory, but these are the first locomotives. We've had locomotives through various manufacturers before, but this is the first time we've had full control and everything we can do ourselves.
What is kind of the process of creating your own locomotive from scratch? Obviously there's not a lot of people that can say that they've had a hand in that, so...
No. So first of all, you start with a research package. So that's going out, measuring up real locos, finding as many drawings as you can, taking hundreds of thousands of images, and then you've got to collate all that together and send it all off with all your research and everything you need the factory to see. So the more detail you can give them, the better the output's going to be. So then there's a CAD stage, which is they go away, look at all the stuff you sent them, and provide you with 3D drawings of the model. And that's to check everything. You've got to have a look at all the dimensions that they scale up to the real thing. You've got to make sure that the insides are right, so your motor's in the right place, your DCC decoder socket's in the right place. You've got space for putting sound speakers in, all things like that. There's a lot more than you usually think about that goes into a model that has to be looked at in the CAD stage, because at the CAD stage it's a lot easier to change as well. If you say, oh, we need that DCC decoder moving to the other side, it's fine when it's at CAD stage. Once you've cut metal, it starts becoming very expensive to change where things are. So once you're happy with that, you then go to the tooling stage. They do what's called cutting metal, which is physically getting lumps of metal and making the tools to actually injection mould or die cast or whatever each part. You'll then get some samples. So you get your first sample. It's to check the fit of the parts, everything's around the right size. So it won't have all the details that you would get on the final model. It's just there to make sure everything's looking right. They then go away and refine the tooling to make sure it's all the small details go into it at that point. Once they're all on, you then go to they get another sample. Usually that'll be a colour sample as well, so that'll be fully painted up, printed up. It'll look almost as it will when it comes off the production line. Once you're happy with that, they'll start production. So they'll get everything through the production line. Just before they're ready to go, you'll get sent some more samples to make sure that what they've produced is exactly what you want. Once you're happy with them, they then go into a container and start the long journey from China over to the UK, which is where these two models are at the moment.
Man, so it's one hell of a journey. And what kind of time frame is all this going to take place inside?
12 to 18 months for ourselves to get the products out. It's not a fast process by any means, but it's one that sort of with the products we've done in the past with other manufacturers, we managed to refine the process, and so it's really helped us when we've gone to the factory direct that we can understand what they're doing and they understand us, and it's a really good relationship we've got with them. Well, the first ones out will be the P class, which is this one here, and obviously Sam, you've featured both of these in reviews already, so
that's fantastic.
So yeah, the P class is on the boat at the moment. It's been slightly delayed due to the weather earlier this month, but they're due in towards the end of this month, which is March 2018. They've got a lot of detail packed into these, so you've got all the steam reversers. There's tons of detail in the cabs. You know, we've not missed anything out on either of these models. The second loco is the Andrew Barclay. Again, for such a small loco, there is a lot of detail packed into these, and there's a lot of very colourful liveries with these as well. Being industrial locos, they didn't conform to the standard VR liveries that you usually get on locos, so there's something a bit different on these, and things like the open cab back on some of them, so you can see straight into the cab. That's very nice. And these will be coming out in April. So they've just left on the boat now. So it's unfortunately a slow boat from China, but they're on the way. So that's all versions will be in at the same time with those.
So obviously they're massively detailed models, and I've seen both of them myself, and they are absolutely superb. But obviously they come in at quite a reasonable price, less than £100 for both of them. So how much of a compromise is it when you're designing something like this to still make sure you're getting the best parts, the best motors, all the detail you want?
Well, to be honest, we don't look at price first of all. We look at the details, the parts that are going into it, the motors and everything. We spec all that out and make sure we've got all that into it. Then make sure we can do it for a decent price. So there's no sort of trade-off between the two. It's right, what do we want out of this model? What do we want to include on it? All the variations we want, all the parts we want, all the motors and the DCC and everything. And then once we get to that stage, you say, right, can we? What price will that come out at? And as long as it's going to come out at a decent price, then we'll produce it. If it's going to come out too expensive or whatever, we won't compromise on the details to then make a model that we can, just because we want to make something. So if we wanted to make Model X, we wouldn't say, well, we'll take that off it, we'll only have one of these, and make that a moulded detail rather than a separate detail to reduce the price. We'll only do it if we know we can make it right for the right price.
So that really is just scratching the surface of what goes on over there at Hatton's, and I really hope you guys enjoyed having a little bit of a look behind the scenes as much as I enjoyed it. It really is an impressive place, and even my pictures and videos don't convey just the size of the place. And it was amazing just how many orders came in while I was there that were picked and sent out. It's amazing and it's impressive in that sense, but it's also massively reassuring to know that the hobby is still big enough and strong enough to warrant such a huge operation. So for me it's a massive relief, and it's just a fantastic place, and they made me feel so welcome. They're all so lovely there, and it isn't just me, they're like that with everybody. Every customer that goes in there gets well looked after, it seems to me. And so a massive thank you to Tom, to Jack, and of course Dave, who you saw in the video there, and really everybody at Hatton's. They're all lovely people, and they deserve our support, I think. And it's a really exciting time down there for them, because all of these new models are starting to come out now very soon, and I'm sure they can't wait to get them out into the world to all of us. So anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to be doing that again one day, because it really was a fantastic experience, and I'm always going to treasure that. So thank you to everyone at Hatton's, thank you to everyone for watching, and I will see you soon with some more videos. Alright, cheers everybody.